From the softball field on the campus of Darien High School, it's a Thursday afternoon clash in the FCAC as the Knights of Stamford High School are in town to take on the Wave of Darien. Hi everybody, Braden Shank with you. So glad you can be with us on the DAF Media Network for this great matchup between Darien and Stamford. Both teams looking to make up some ground in the FCAC conference standings. The Black Knights 3-9 in the conference, so they need a long shot to make the FCAC conference playoffs. As for Darien, 5-7 in conference play, looking to end this season on a home stretch with some wins. They welcome in Stamford today. They welcome in Wilton on Monday, and then finish up with Sacred Heart Academy with Fairfield Ward sprinkled in there. So a couple home games for Nick DeMayo's team. And as for Stamford, 6-11 overall, looking to get back in the win column here in this contest, something the team has not seen in about a month or so. They've lost their last 7 contests. The last win coming back on April 21st. So the Black Knights looking to break their streak. And we'll take a look at our Darien starting pitcher as the Wave will line up behind the junior, Malin Medeiros, who most recently picked up her 100th career strikeout yesterday at Ridgefield, a game that the Wave lost to the Tigers, although Medeiros will be looking to deal against this Black Knights team, which consists of the starting 9 for the Stamford Black Knights. Casey Robati bats first, plays second. Fox, the pitcher, bats 2. Sam Albert, the center fielder, at 3. Victoria Tiberio bats fourth, playing third base. Ira Fino, Zinacola, and the rest of the Stamford Black Knights as you see it on your screen. Apologies for the NA at the bottom of that lineup. Does show that Stamford not playing with a DP or flex today. They're going 9 players up and 9 players batting in the lineup. And that's exactly what this Knights team will look to do under first-year head coach Tori Kuskuna. As the Wave huddles up around the circle, give some words of wisdom to their pitcher, Malin Medeiros. Beautiful day for some softball here in southwestern Connecticut. 79 degrees, sunny. Although it feels more like 80 or 90 here in the sun. Robati digs in. First batter for the Knights. And Medeiros, the deal. First pitch, a called strike. Oh, 1 Medeiros. Second pitch, Medeiros gets the sign and comes home. Ball in the dirt, scooped up from Fogno. As we mentioned, Medeiros, the junior pitcher for this Darien team, having quite a year to remember. Over 100 strikeouts on the season. Struck out 7 New Canaan batters in the game on Tuesday. The game on Monday, rather. Darien fell to the Rams 5-3 in the 8th inning. A home run from Patterson and the Rams in the 8th inning propelled them to that win. But it was a game that Darien was trailing most of the game, came all the way back in the 6th inning to tie it up, and then took the Rams to 8 innings, but fell just short. That was the last time the Wave was home. Ground ball. Foul ball. Ofinger made a great play on it. The umpire calls it foul. And now the at-bat will continue at 1-2. And then Darien took the trip up to Tiger Hollow yesterday, and it was a game for the Wave to forget, losing 12-0 at the hands of the Tigers. Although the good news for Darien, that was their penultimate road game of the season. So they will only have to go to Fairfield Ward, then a couple home games left to finish out their season. Strike 3 in the dirt. Fogno applies the tag, and that's the first out of the ball game. Malin Medeiros sitting down Robati, and there's one away for Caitlin Fox, the pitcher. Fox will dig in. The sophomore on this Stamford team was one of the 4 freshmen that stepped up last year for Stamford in a rebuilding year for the Black Knights, and now back for her 2nd year on the mound. And she is one great pitcher inside the circle. First pitch, a called strike at the knees from Medeiros. Fox, the starting pitcher most of this season for Stamford, has started many of their games. Called strike on the outside corner. And Medeiros is dealing right now. 0-2 on the Stamford 2-hole hitter. No balls, 2 strikes. Medeiros gets the sign from her catcher, Fogno. And the payoff. Foul just chipped up to the third base box. And Fox will live to see another pitch. Medeiros has some time to work here. Looking to set down her second night. The pitch. Off speed. Called strike 3 on the swing. And Medeiros has seen 2 batters, 2 Ks for the Darien junior, as now the lineup goes to Sam Albert in the 3 spots. And talk about a great way to open up the ball game. How about 2 strikeouts on the first 2 batters you face? Sam Albert will look to change course. Albert, one of a handful of seniors on this Stamford team. One of just 4 to be exact. First pitch from Medeiros. Fouled back to the backstop. A Stamford team that consists of 10 freshmen on their roster. And again, they had 4 last year, and all 4 of them saw major time now returning for their sophomore seasons. One of them being Caitlin Fox, who will be our starting pitcher for the Black Knights. Albert digs back into the right-handed batter's box. Medeiros with the delivery. The off-speed gets Albert swinging. It's 0-2. And Medeiros has been absolutely dealing thus far. Ahead of every count, forcing Stamford to go down 0-2 and have to come back. The 0-2 deal. Strike 3 looking. Mullen Medeiros sits down the side on strikes, and Darien comes up to bat when we return on the DAF Media Network. Back on the DAF Media Network, Stamford takes the field. Caitlin Fox, the starting pitcher for this Black Knights team. They are getting their first look in the field, trying to slow down this Darien offense. And Darien, they will line up behind their starting 9 from head coach Nick DeMayo and Izzy Ofinger batting first. Kaylee McCloskey batting second. Medeiros batting third. Valji in the 3 spot. Kisco at the Medeiros bats 3. Valji at 4. Kisco at 5. Donahue bats 6, Fogno at 7, Lindell at 8, Michelson at 9, and then the flex Allie Myers plays left fields. And again, they will look to get some hits on Caitlin Fox and get this offense going. Something, again, in that New Canaan game, it took until the 6th inning for Darien's offense to come to life. They were held at bay by New Canaan's pitching for most of the game. Ofinger will trot in, and Izzy will be the leadoff batter for this Darien team in the bottom of the first. And talk about the last 2 weeks she has had. Hit a home run against Danbury, the 3-run home run. Had a home run against Staples. And then the big 2 RBI single against New Canaan on Monday. So she's playing hot as of late. Ofinger will dig in. Fox going through her pre-pitch rituals. And the righty Fox with the delivery from the windup. Called strike 1. This umpire showing he's going to call the strikes. The hitter's got to be ready to hit up there. Ofinger sees the first one and will dig back in for the second pitch. Fox grips the ball. And the pitch. Ground ball from Ofinger just in front of it. Trying to figure out what head coach Nick DeMayo was doing there down at third base. It was looking like he was trying to move away from the ball, but still found a way to get hit by the ball. Nonetheless, the count moves to 0-2. Fox steps back on the rubber. The 0-2 deal. Fly ball into center. That one's going to fall off the wall. Albert gets it. Ofinger takes it around, heading for second. The throw from Albert, not in time. Izzy Ofinger leads off Darien with a double. A big hit from the Darien sophomore. Actually, Darien freshman, rather, Izzy Ofinger. And the freshman is having a campaign to remember thus far. A leadoff double, as now Kaylee McCloskey will come in. One of the few lefties on this Darien team will have an advantage on Fox. Runner on second. No outs. Fox. Bunt from McCloskey, and that one is just fouled back. 0-1. So Fox has pitched 4 pitches. All 4 are strikes thus far. And again, if Darien's picking up the trends, they know that they're going to get hittable pitches. They have to be ready to swing the bat. Second pitch from Fox. Once again, a bunt from McCloskey, and that one is just bunted foul, 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. Cowley digs back in. Fox gets the sign. The 0-2 pitch. Strike 3, looking. And McCloskey is set down. There's one away in the bottom of the first. Now the pitcher, Malin Medeiros, will look to help her cause. A junior captain for the Wave. First pitch from Fox. And that one hit Medeiros. Stamford trying to argue that it hit the bat, and instead they're going to say it's a hit by pitch. Our umpires will converse. And they're going to say, no, she didn't go. So hit by pitch from Medeiros puts runners on first and second. Nicole Yarish will come over to be the courtesy runner. Runners on first and second now. Lauren Valji, the shortstop, up to bat. Fox trying to pitch out of a jam. Runners on first and second. Valji takes strike 1. Big RBI opportunity for the Wave here in the first inning. And all they need to focus on is just getting the runner home. Second pitch. Valji ahead in front of that one. Fouling off, 0-2. Now 0-2, Fox still ahead in the count. Again, the only ball she's thrown in this first inning was that hit by pitch to Medeiros. So Fox is a very consistent pitcher for this Black Knights team. 0-2. Ball upstairs. Ofinger takes a big lead, gets back to second as Rabati comes over to cover. One ball, 2 strikes. Foul ball. That one's going to the lacrosse field. Ooh, and there's a lacrosse game going on. One ball, 2 strikes. Fox gets set in the circle and comes home. Ball in the dirt, scooped up by Iorfino behind the plate. Julia Iorfino, the catcher for this Black Knights team. They'll look to throw these Darien runners out if they try to steal. Loop fly ball, caught by the third baseman. Infield fly is on, and that is the second out for Darien. Two outs in the inning. Claire Kisco steps in, the first baseman for the Wave. One of the handful of sophomores on this Darien team. Kisco foul tip caught by Iorfino. Kisco, the 5-hole hitter for Darien. The Wave got the leadoff batter Ofinger on via the double. Looking not to leave some runners on base. Foul back, and Kisco's up there swinging. Oh, 0-2 the count. Fox looking to get out of the inning untouched. The deal. Ball just high. Kisco will live to see another pitch. And that's all you got to do as a batter in this situation is battle. Keep the at-bat going until you see that one pitch you can really excel on. Fly ball on the left side. That's going to chase Stokes over from left and drop in foul territory for the foul ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. Caitlin Fox looking to complete her first inning of work. In the dirt, scooped up by Iafino, 2-2. Kisco had 2 hits in the game against Staples a couple weeks back. A big hitter for this Wave team. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Lined with a rope on the foul territory. And Kisco was battling at the plate. Pitch number 7 about to ensue. Two balls, 2 strikes. Fox gets the sign from the catcher. A windup and the deal. Ball just up. Count moves full. Izzy Ofinger on second. Nicole Yarish on first. You have to assume both runners will be in motion with the pitch. 3-2, 2 outs. The delivery. Line fouled. And Kisco is having a great at-bat so far. Three balls, 2 strikes. A deal from Fox. Ball 4. Kisco works the walk, and the bases are loaded for Caitlin Donahue. Donahue looking to come up clutch in this first inning for this Wave team. The junior for the Wave. The 6th Darien batter to get up to the plate this inning. Looking to come through. First pitch, grounded over to third base, and Orgera with the catch, or with the field rather. That's the 3rd out. Stamford gets out of a jam untouched at 0-0 after 1 on the DAF Media Network.
This broadcast is produced by DAF Media, a joint venture between the Darien Foundation and the Darien Athletic Foundation. The production is staffed by student and adult volunteers from the town of Darien and southwestern Connecticut.
DAF Media is actively seeking financial support. Founded in 2017, DAF Media has quickly become southwestern Connecticut's source for quality sports, arts, and community programming. If you like what you see on the DAF Media Network and want to help us continue to deliver high-quality broadcasts while teaching lifelong STEM, communication, organization, and leadership skills, please email us at sponsor@dafmedia.org. We are a registered 501c3 organization.
Welcome you back to the DHS softball field. Top of the 2nd. Coming right up for you. Tibrio, first batter up for the Knights. 4-hole hitter playing 3rd. Actually, correction, playing first base. Tibrio, a big hitter for this nice team. Quickly down 0-1 to Medeiros. Sophomore for the Knights. Second pitch, Medeiros settles back in inside the circle. And comes home with it. In the dirt, scooped up from Fogno, blocked down, 1-1. And it was a great inning for Darien on the defensive end. Medeiros faced 3 batters, struck them all out, but then the offense, they brought 6 hitters up to the plate. They left 3 stranded. Not a great way you want to start for the offense, however. There's a lot of softball left to be played as that one thrown in the dirt. And Medeiros looking to find that rhythm she was in for the first 3 batters of the game. Medeiros is one of the best pitchers in the FCAC once she gets in her groove and really starts pitching that ball well. 2-1 the count. Medeiros with the deal. Ball just low, was looking for the call at the knees and sinks it a little low, and now Tibrio is on the verge of getting Stamford's first runner of the ball game. (3-1). Grounder over to Ofinger on third. She fields it over to Kisco, and Kisco's got it for the first out in the top of the second. 1 away for the catcher, Julia Iorfino. Iorfino looking to get Stanford's first run. The first 4 Black Knights up have all been sat down. First pitch from Medeiros to the new batter. Grounder right back to Medeiros. She fields it and on to first. High throw grabbed by Kisco, and there's 2 away. Doesn't get much easier than that right there. 1 pitch and an out of it. Christina Zinicola will be the new batter for Stamford. Zinicola, one of the seniors on the Knights team. Called strike on the outside. And you can tell this Darien team is going to look to paint that outside corner. They did it perfectly in the first inning. And so far, replicating that. 0-1, Medeiros. The windup and the pitch. Off speed, count high. Moves the count to 1-1. Medeiros. Ball moves up high, 2-1. And they're going to say that the ball skimmed the helmet of Zinicola. So Zinicola reaches first via the hit by pitch. Now Orguera will come in, Aubrey Orguera. Interesting call because that pitch was up high. The umpire initially called it a ball and then came out and said it was a hit by pitch, skimmed the batter's helmets. Called strike. Orguera digs back in. Runner on first, 2 away in the inning. Fouls it back to the dugouts. Oh, 0-2, Medeiros ahead of another batter. No balls, 2 strikes. Medeiros looking to get out of another untouched. Off speed, just low. Good throwaway pitch from the Darien Jr. And that's the beauty when you go up 0-2 is you have a couple pitches to throw away right there. Mess with some of the off speeds, try to get the team chasing. That time Orguera doesn't chase it. Strike 3, the off speed gets Aubrey Orguera chasing. And once again, Darien sets down the Knights. No runs, no hits, no errors. Darien returns to bat when we return.
Celebrating and supporting Darien athletes. That is a simple mission of the Darien Athletic Foundation. Broadcasting live from the field, DAF Media covers 125 games a year. All Darien teams, our youth, in our town, on our fields. Fields like the center oval and upper oval turfs, the JV softball field, and Stadium East, the longest turf in New England, all made possible by the Darien Athletic Foundation and its generous founders and donors. The Darien Athletic Foundation is not just committed to building our town's athletic infrastructure, it's improving the civic infrastructure for everyone to enjoy. The multimedia scoreboard, the snack bar pavilion, and the stadium lights, a $750,000 investment that makes Darien High School just the 2nd school in Connecticut with LED lights. The Darien Athletic Foundation board is made up of local parents, Parents who know just how quickly it goes by. Its archives of more than 60,000 photos capture.
Fogno, Lindell, Michelson, the duo up for the Wave. Ava Fogno, the senior capture, the sole senior on this Darien team. Looking to spark a rally for this Wave team in the bottom of the second. Fox, the first deal. Fogno a little behind at strike one. Oh, 1, Fox ahead. Fino takes a big step up in the catcher's box. Called strike 2 on Fogno. And Fox making quick work of Fogno thus far. The 7, 8, 9 hitters for Darien due up. Fox looking for her first K. Ball just outside. Fino doesn't make a frame on it, and it's called just out. Moves it now to 1 and 2. One ball, 2 strikes. Strike 3, looking, and the tag is applied. Ava Fogno goes down looking for the first out. Catherine Lindell will trot in, the second baseman for the Wave. Lindell has seen a variety of positions this season, sometimes in the flex, this time batting in the 8 spot playing second base. Called strike 1 at the numbers. And Lindell finds herself down 0-1. Fox looking to have a better inning than she did in the first. 6 batters came up for Darien, however, didn't give up a single run to the Wave. So I guess in turn, that was still good. High fly ball in the center. Albert has it, and Sam Albert makes the grab for the second out. 2 quick outs for Caitlin Fox as Mia Michelson, the designated player, will trot in. Michelson looking to put a runner on before the lineup flips to the top. Little weak grounder over to Zenicola at short. Fire on the first. Grabbed by Tibiro, and there is the third out. Darien brings 3 batters up to the plate. Stamford sits them all down through 2. It's Stamford nothing, Darien nothing on the DAF Media Network. We'll be back.
We are DAF Media, Darien's hometown source for sports, arts, and entertainment, established in 2017. We are Community, a volunteer-based organization that gives nearly 50 Darien High School students hands-on experience in video production. We are Cutting Edge, a STEM initiative. Students use cameras, computers, sound equipment, and innovative software. We are Live, streaming 120 events per year on our YouTube channel. We are On the Stage. We are At the Big Games. We are On the Field. We are In the Gym. We are On the Move, live streaming not only in Darien, but throughout southwestern Connecticut and the tri-state area. We are making a difference. We are DAF Media.
Back on the DAF Media Network. 8-9-1 due up for the Black Knights as Medeiros will look to continue to work efficiently. We'll take a look at our Darien defensive alignment as they line up behind Medeiros. Fogner behind the plate, Kisco, Lindell, Valgio, Finger in the infield, Myers, McCloskey, and Donahue, the outfielders from left to right. Again, those are their Darien defenders for head coach Nick DeMayo's Wave. First pitch grounder right back to Medeiros. She has it on the first, and there is the first out. 1 pitch, 1 out for Medeiros and the Wave. Rachel Stokes digs in. Stokes, the 9-hole hitter for this Black Knights team. The freshman playing left fields. Ball 1. A little behind it is Stokes. 1-1 the count now. Rachel Stokes, the 9-hole hitter for the Black Knights, looking to come through. 1 ball, 1 strike, the count. Medeiros, the delivery. Foul ball. Oh. Almost hit our camera. Kind of lost that one for a second. 1-2. Grounder right over to the shortstop. Valji on to first. In time. 2 quick outs for the Wave. As Casey Robati will come back in. 2 outs in the top of the third. Stamford looking for their first hit still of the ball game. First pitch, Robati. Takes a called strike 1. Ball just scooped up out of the dirt, moves it to 1-1. Medeiros has worked quite efficiently so far through the first 2 2/3 innings. Looking to have another masterful day on the mound. 1-1, foul back. Just getting a piece of it was Robati. Now the count moves to 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes. Medeiros looking for another K. She's ended the last 2 innings with a K. Looking for her third. The deal. In the dirt, blocked by Fogno. Moves the count to 2 balls, 2 strikes. Medeiros. Ground ball on the right side. Lindell to Kisco for the 3rd out, and Darien has another 1-2-3 inning. The Wave returns when we return on the DAF Media Network. Back on the DAF Media Network. As Darien will come back up to bat. Izzy Ofinger first up. First pitch is a ball. We'll take a look at our Stamford defensive alignments in this contest. See the 9 players there from their positions. Second pitch is a ball. Now moves it to 2-0. And Caitlin Fox looking to continue her work out there, now facing the 1-2-3 hitters for the Wave. Grounder with some authority to third, knocked down by Orguera on to first, and it's an out. A great play by Aubrey Orguera at third. There's a reason they call it the hot corner, and it's for that reason right there. 1 out in the third. Orgera knocked it down, then fired on to Tibrio on first and got the out of it. 1 out in the inning. As now Kaylee McCloskey comes back in. McCloskey, the sophomore for the Wave. Runs up, takes ball 1 high. Second pitch from Fox in the at-bat. Called strike as McCloskey runs up on it. One and one. The deal. McCloskey shows bunt, pulls back in time, 2-1. McCloskey went down looking in her first at-bat, looking to rewrite fortunes in her second trip. Shows bunt, gets it down. Orgera comes over, and that's a bunt. Single for McCloskey. One of the best bunters on this Darien team, showing why right there. Lays it down the third base line. Orgera fields it, doesn't have enough time as the speedy McCloskey reaches first safely. For the pitcher, Malin Medeiros to step in. Medeiros reached via the hit-by pitch in the first inning. Got all the way to second before he was stranded. First pitch to Medeiros. Ball in, once again playing chin music with the Darien pitcher. Second pitch to Medeiros. Called strike, and the throw down to second. Not in time as it goes into center. McCloskey will steal second with ease. Actually, it was a called ball on it, so 2-0 is the count. But still in base by McCloskey. And now Medeiros has a runner in scoring position. 2-0. Medeiros fouls that one back. Nice level swing on it, just gets a little under the ball. Darien left the bases loaded in the first inning. Last inning brought 3 hitters up to the plate. All 3 were retired. Ball in the dirt, moves it to 3-1. A hitter's count for Medeiros. I have to assume she'll be given a green light on here if she's given a pitch in the heart of the zone. Three balls, 1 strike. Fly ball into center. Albert traces it back, makes the catch, tagging is McCloskey. The throw to third. Not grabbed. McCloskey, she rounds it, is heading for home. The throw cut off. A sac fly for Medeiros, and Darien goes up 1-0. Caught by Albert, the error into third as McCloskey scores all the way from second. Two outs, but not before Darien puts up the first run of the ball game. Lauren Valji comes back in. Takes ball 1. Valji popped down to the third baseman in her first trip. Although a great at-bat by the Darien pitcher, getting an RBI, and now she hopes to return to the mound and keep this Black Knights team off the board. 2 outs in the bottom of the third, however. Ball upstairs. Again, the Wave looking to get hot here in the later half of their season. They're trailing by a couple games in the FCAC tournament. Only 1 game out. That loss to New Canaan was detrimental for Darien's playoff chances. Well, there's still a chance. Valji, liner over to the shortstop, knocked down, making the error on it is Zinicola, and Valji will reach. Got the end of the bat, the little blooper over to the shortstop. Zinicola was unable to field it, and that is how Valji reaches first. Claire Kisco steps back in. Again, the top half of this Darien order able to produce. They've got 1 run already in the inning. Kisco, the called strike. 0-1 the count on the Darien batter. 5-hole hitter for the Wave. Kisco into rights. That one's dropping. Both runners advance. Valgi over to second as Kisco picks up a single. And Darien's got a 2-out rally brewing. Kaylin Donahue coming up. She gets the sign from her head coach, Nick DeMeo. Donahue grounded out to the third baseman on the fielder's choice in her first trip. But the junior right fielder will look to come up clutch. Donahue right back to the third baseman, and another fielder's choice. That one is Orguera, but not before Malin Medeiros drills in a run with the sac fly. It's 1-0 Darien after 3 from Darien High School. We'll be back.
The technology upgrades provided by the Darien Foundation has been a game changer for us. It's allowed us to improve our training. It has helped us hone our skills. Thanks to our partnership with the Darien Foundation, who's provided all this technology and several grants throughout the years, we're able to continue to be prepared to respond whenever you need it.
I'd like to thank the Darien Foundation for their continued support. They've been a wonderful partner, and they've taken this vision that we've had for this property and make it a reality.
Thanks to the Darien Foundation, we have this amazing new van, and we are so excited about it and what it'll do for the community.
This is going to be a real improvement in the services we provide. The Darien Foundation is important to the community in the scope that they reach out to answer needs.
It's important for people to be proud of where they live and to understand that if they want a better society, that they need to fund places like the Darien Foundation and the places like the Mather Homestead, because they're so rich in cultural achievements that it makes it a better place to live.
Fox Albert Cibrio up for the Black Knights in this top of the fourth. First pitch from Medeiros, grounded over to Ofinger on third, fielded off of balance on to first, and there is 1 out off of 1 pitch. The pitcher Fox is sat down. And Medeiros has been working efficiently out there. A lot of those first pitch going for the outs. That's how the top of the fourth opens up. Now Sam Alberts steps in. He's center fielder for the Black Knights. Called strike one. Good pitch from Medeiros. Now Albert will need to dig back in. Stamford still looking for their first hit of the contest. Medeiros has been lights out so far. Ball outside. Good grab by Fogno. It would be perfect so far, although there was a hit by pitch of Zinicola. A pitch that just barely skimmed the helmet of Zinicola. Well, other than that, it's been a pretty clean game for Malin Medeiros on the mound, and Darien's been able to keep in the dugout and keep in the batter's box, which makes a big difference on these hot days like this to stay nice and warm. They're nice and cold inside the dugouts, not have to be out in the grueling sun. 80 degrees out there today. 2-1 the count on Albert. Albert went down looking to end the top of the first. Back for her second trip in the fourth. Strike two on the swing. Didn't fully commit on it. Albert went around, says our home plate umpire. Moves it to twos. Two balls, two strikes. Medeiros fouled off the end of the bat. Rather the inner part of the bat. Albert just kind of twisted the wrist on that one and got a piece of the ball. Count is 2-2 still. Debrio stands on deck for the Knights. Although Medeiros with the deal. Ball just outside. And Albert will trot down to first with the walk. As Stamford will have their first runner since the second inning. And no, now it's 3-2. So the scoreboard was wrong. And now Albert will have to come back in, so the walk is removed. Now it's 3 balls and 2 strikes. Good catch by the field umpire. Called strike 3. So Albert thought she had a walk. Instead, she trots back to the dugout with a strikeout looking, and there's 2 away in the 5th. Talk about a change in events right there. That's worst case scenario for the Vikings. You get a walk removed, have to come back, go down looking, as now it's Tibero, rather, the sophomore for the Vikings. Ball's upstairs. And Medeiros is happy with that outcome. She knew the count. She knew she had a throwaway pitch on that 2-2 deal. It was weird. The umpire did signal 2-2 prior to that pitch. So it was interesting that he pointed down to first. Called strike. Do want to give credit to our graphics coordinator, Dalton Moss, who had the count correct on your scoreboard at home. Great job by Dalton, although he's wrong right here. It should be 1-1. Nonetheless, doing a great job. One of our many volunteers, grounded to Lindell. She fields it. Takes her time. High throw caught by Kisco. And the Wave have another 1-2-3 inning. After 3.5, it's still 1-0 Wave.
I think the Darien Foundation is a central organization in town, showing that the community cares, and the community is willing to give, and the community is willing to support the kind of work that we're doing here and in other organizations in town.
I'd like to thank the Darien Foundation for their continued support. They've been a wonderful partner, and they've taken this vision that we've had for this property and make it a reality.
The Darien Foundation was critical to the success of the Elizabeth W. Tilton Education Center. The new barn will allow us to have bigger groups and educate more school children about the legacy of the Mather homestead.
It's important for people to be proud of where they live and to understand that if they want a better society, that they need to fund places like the Darien Foundation and the places like the Mather Homestead, because they're so rich in cultural achievements that it makes it a better place to live.
Ava Fogno first up in this 4th inning. The catcher looking to get on base to start the inning. Went down looking in her first at-bat, the senior catcher. And Darien, this is the situation they want to be in, a 1-0 lead, bottom of the 4th. Their pitcher dealing very exceptionally so far through the first 4 innings. Although, again, there's still 3 frames to play, so anything is possible. First pitch to Fogno, just upstairs, ball 1. As I've been saying, both of these teams desperately looking for a win to keep their FCAC playoff hopes alive. The Knights 6-11 on the season, 3-9 in conference play. The Wave 5-11. As Fogno grounds this one, the chopper just foul. 5-7 in conference play. The Wave have lost 3 straight games dating back to St. Joseph last week, and Stamford's lost the last 7. Although you look at the recent history of these programs, Darien, they've not won an FCAC title since 2017, and as for Stamford, they have 5 in the program. Hasn't won one since 2006. Fly ball from Fogno. Into right. And that one is caught for the first out. Kind of in our blind spot here, but that's 1 out in the inning. Although, as I was saying, Stamford, they have 5 all-time FCAC titles, 2006, 2002, 2000, 97, and 1995. A face on this Darien side was involved for 3 out of those 5 FCAC titles. If you want to take one guess, how about Art DePhilippus, the first base coach for Darien, assistant coach, former coach of the Stamford Black Knights, and assistant coach. And he led the Knights to 3 FCAC titles back in his day with Stamford. I think that was after he pitched in the Texas Rangers organization. To talk about a journey right there. And now back coaching with the great Nick DeMeo on this Wave team. And Stamford has had a long history of coaches. Tony Espioso coaching a while, just recently retired in the last 5 years or so. Now coaching for Stanford's arch rival West Hill with the great Tom Pia. Strike three, Lindell goes down swinging in the dirt. Fire over from Iafeno for the second out. And talk about rivals being reunited. Stanford and West Hill are arch rivals. They share the town together, two high schools in Stamford, Connecticut. So it's not every day you see the likes of Tony Espioso and Tom Pia coaching together for West Hill. And now this Black Knights team is led by Tori Kuskuna in her first season. And again, a Black Knights team with a lot of history in the FCAC. Ground ball under the glove of Orgera, and that will be a single from Mia Michelson. So Michelson reaches via the single, and Izzy Ofinger will trot back in. Ofinger led off the game with a double for the Wave, although grounded out in her last at-bats. And there's now 2 outs in the fourth. First pitch from Fox. Called strike one on the tall Ofinger. As for Nick DeMeo, well, he's been here a while coaching this Darien softball team. He's done a little bit of everything. Plays in a band, coaches softball, PE teacher at Darien High School. It's a trifecta if I've ever heard one. One of the best archery PE teachers at Darien High School, if I have to say so myself. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ofinger went around, 1-2. And she knew it, just flicked the wrist a little too much, broke the wrist on it. Now to 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes. Ground ball. Foul ball hit off of Ofinger. Was interesting on that, almost like the home plate umpire was waiting for the field umpire to make the call, then came out and called the foul ball. Ofinger didn't even leave the batter's box on it, she knew. Nonetheless, moves the count to 1-2. Line drive, over to the shortstop, field it, flip on to second, grabbed by Robati, and that's the fielder's choice to end the 4th inning. After 4, Darien still on top, 1-0 on the DAF Media Network.
Celebrating and supporting Darien athletes. That is a simple mission of the Darien Athletic Foundation. Broadcasting live from the field, DAF Media covers 125 games a year. All Darien teams, our youth, in our town, on our fields. Fields like the center oval and upper oval turfs, the JV softball field, and Stadium East, the longest turf in New England. All made possible by the Darien Athletic Foundation and its generous founders and donors. The Darien Athletic Foundation is not just committed to building our town's athletic infrastructure, it's improving the civic infrastructure for everyone to enjoy. The multimedia scoreboard, the snack bar pavilion, and the stadium lights, a $750,000 investment that makes Darien High School just the 2nd school in Connecticut with LED lights. The Darien Athletic Foundation board is made up of local parents who know just how quickly it goes by. Its archives of more than 60,000 photos capture those precious moments of our young athletes as they strive to be their very best. The Darien Athletic Foundation has raised almost $9.5 million for our town and its kids, and it's not stopping there, as it continues to build a legacy for our youth as bright as their future, both on and off the field.
Julia Iafeno will be the leadoff batter for the Knights in this 5th inning. First pitch, grounder to Lindell at short. Catherine fields it on to Kisco at first, and there's 1 pitch off of 1 out yet again for Malin Medeiros. Medeiros now 5 for 5 when setting down the first batter in the inning. And a lot of ground outs. This Stamford team has not had a single fly out yet, so they're hitting the ball on the ground. A couple strikeouts thrown in there for the 13 outs of the Black Knights so far. Ball just outside, 1-0 on Zinicola. Zinicola reached for the Knights in the second inning via the hit by pitch. It was a ball that went up high and just skimmed off the brim part of the helmet. Takes a called strike on the inside. And that's a pitch from Medeiros. She knows that's a strike, throws it inside, tries to keep the batter on her toes, and establish that inside part of the zone. And now he keeps Zinicola guessing where the ball's going to go. Seen a little bit on the outside, seen some on the inside. Sees ball 2 right there. If you're just joining us, Braden Shank with you. So glad you can be with us on the DAF Media Network. DAF, a joint venture of the Darien Athletic Foundation and the Darien Foundation, bringing you live coverage of this Varsity softball contest between Darien and Stamford. Foul back. And a fun fact for all you DAF Media fans out there, with this broadcast today, it's the first time in DAF Media's 7-year history we will broadcast a Darien versus all 15 other teams in the FCAC in the same calendar year. We've done all 14, including Darien for the 15. Stamford is the 16th team in the FCAC that we haven't seen on the DAF Media Network. And there's strike 3. The off-speed gets Zinicola chasing, and there's 2 outs in the 5th. But it just goes to show how much this DAF Media program has built up over the last couple of years. And a big part, thanks to our student volunteers, 3 of them on the crew today, Henry and Brogno, Dalton Moss, and Adam Nelson. Our DAF Media advisor, Damian Andrew. But again, it means that with this game, all 16 FCAC schools have had at least 1 game broadcasted on the DAF Media Network in this 2022-23 school year. Normally we get 14 or 15. Last year we missed Danbury. The year before that, Bridgeport Central. So normally we get a lot of teams, but it's the first time ever we were able to get all 16, so a big accomplishment. Foul ball to the left side. This is Aubrey Orguera, the 7-hole hitter for the Knights. Went down swinging to end the second inning, looking to avoid ending the 5th inning. The ball's 2 strikes. Foul back. Heads up. That one's on the lacrosse field. Good thing there's a timeout. Plus, it's good. A sport like lacrosse, you have the stick. You can scoop up the ground ball and throw back up to the softball diamonds. Could be worse if you had soccer and had to use your hands. Strike 3. The off-speed gets Orguera swinging. And Darien gets out of another inning. It's still 1-0 Wave. We'll be back. McCloskey, Medeiros, Valji, the do-up for the Wave. 2-3-4, the heart of this Wave order, looking to do some more damage. Get some insurance runs to the 1-run lead they holds. McCloskey shows bunt, pulls back as the ball's in the dirt. We're in the bottom of the 5th. Darien up 1-0. Wave 1 run off of 5 hits thus far. 2 errors by the Knights. McCloskey pulls back the bunt, called strike. You can hear the Darien dugout getting rowdy. And McCloskey will dig back in. 2-0. 3-0 the count. I give Dalton Moss a compliment, and now the count is wrong, so he gets it corrected. 3-0 now. Chopper fouled. Although, in all honesty, Dalton's doing a great job bringing you all of our graphics tonight. Everything from the scoreboard to the player graphics and everything in between. That's our man, Dalton Moss, on it. Adam Nelson manning the camera on the right side, and then our director, Henry Imbrogno, making sure the show looks good for the viewers at home. 3 balls, 1 strike. McCloskey fouls that one back. And Braden Shank with you here on the call, so it's my lovely voice you're stuck with, and just my voice. Solo broadcaster for the Darien softball squad. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Callie digs back in. Looking to get on base. Had a single back in the third, her last time up. Fly ball. Orguera is not able to get there, foul ball. And the count is 2-2, so we're all wrong on the count. Two balls, 2 strikes. Caitlin Fox gets ready in the circle. And the delivery. Foul ball. And McCloskey's having a nice at-bat. McCloskey's had some nice days at the plate. Already 1 for 2 in this ball game. Ball 3 moves it full. Again, Darien looking for that spark in the later half of their season. Strike 3. McCloskey runs up, whips on it. There's 1 down in the bottom of the 5th. And now Malin Medeiros will get the helmet and come up. Medeiros had the sac fly back in the 3rd inning. The sole run for Darien. It scored McCloskey from second base. The sac fly moved McCloskey to 3rd, but an error on Sam Albert in center. Threw the ball past her third baseman. Orguera brought the runner home. And that is the sole run for Darien. Second pitch from Fox. Medeiros, grounder over to Orguera at 3rd. Fields it on to 1st. And it's grabbed by Tabrillo. There's 2 away. Lauren Valgi will be the new batter for Darien. Valgi, the sophomore standout for Darien. Now bats with 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th. Valgi 0 for 1 in the contest, 0 for 2, a pop out in the 1st, then reached via the E6 in the 3rd. Takes ball 1. Valgi looking to settle down, get a hit to her name. And foul ball. Kind of a half swing on it, didn't fully commit. Here, the Darien bench getting fired up. They hold a 1-0 lead in this contest. Valgi off the end of the bat, 1-2. Now Fox ahead in a batter. Caitlin Fox has pitched a pretty good day so far. 3 strikeouts to her name. Did only give up that 1 run. However, it was not earned as it was scored on an error from the center fielder. So 1 run, no earn to Caitlin Fox. Off speed, caught looking. Darien sat down 1-2-3. Stanford's 8-9-1 due up when we return on the DAF Media Network.
We are DAF Media, Darien's hometown source for sports, arts, and entertainment, established in 2017. We are Community, a volunteer-based organization that gives nearly 50 Darien High School students hands-on experience in video production. We are Cutting Edge, a STEM initiative. Students use cameras, computers, sound equipment, and innovative software. We are Live, streaming 120 events per year on our YouTube channel. We are On the Stage. We are At the Big Games. We are On the Field. We are In the Gym. We are On the Move, live streaming not only in Darien, but throughout southwestern Connecticut and the tri-state area. We are making a difference. We are DAF Media.
Stamford returns to the plate, top of the sixth. The last 10 Knights hitters have been retired by Malin Medeiros. 8-9-1, the due-up for the Black Knights. And Medeiros has been in such a groove so far tonight. Ball just low. Good frame by Fogno. So far, Stamford still looking for their first hit of the ball game. And it's one of those questions. Does the pitcher know that she's got a no-hitter so far through 5? Foul back. Again, Medeiros had a memorable day yesterday at Ridgefield, struck out her 100th batter of the season. Got to keep the ball on it, a special moment whenever a pitcher gets into triple figures in the strikeouts. And so far today has pitched 3, 5, 6, 7 strikeouts already. Foul back, oh, right back to us. But again, the last 10 Knights have been retired. The only Knights batter to successfully reach first base was Christina Zinicola, who reached on a hit-by-pitch, a ball that Medeiros was looking to locate the top left corner of the zone, but instead ran in and skimmed the top of her helmet. 1-2 pitch. Strike 3 in the dirt. And the throw from Fogno is in time for the drop third strike. Make it an 8th strikeout for Medeiros as Rachel Stokes, the left fielder, steps in. Stokes, the 9-hole hitter, went down on a ground out to Valji in the second inning, or in the third inning. Shows bunt. Stokes misses on it. 0-1. And Stamford's not been able to hit Medeiros, so why not try a bunt, see if you can beat the left side of the infield. But Stamford so far, no runs, no hits, 2 errors. They did leave 1 runner on base. Ball chasing high, moves it to 1-1. And again, the debate is, do you want to give up a hit so that way you can focus on settling down, striking out the next couple batters and not have to worry? Fogno can't get there. Almost had the pop-up behind the dish. Fogno just past the end of her glove. But as I was saying, it's almost the debate of a 1-run game. Do you wish you give up a single or something so that way it's not a home run in the 7th inning to tie the game? Or do you try to focus on the no-hitter and think too much about that? It's all a mental game at this point in the stage, and Medeiros will look to work through it. 2-1 to count. Or 1-2, rather. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Strike 3, swinging! Give her another. Malin Medeiros is en fuego right now. Struck out the last 4 Stamford hitters. And now the lineup flips over to Casey Robati, who's 0 for 2 in the ballgame, looking to avoid being the 5th consecutive Black Knight set down on strikes. Fly ball. Chasing Lindell back. She makes the grab. Medeiros has a no-hitter through 6 as Darien will look for insurance in the bottom half.
This broadcast is produced by DAF Media, a joint venture between the Darien Foundation and the Darien Athletic Foundation. The production is staffed by student and adult volunteers from the town of Darien and southwestern Connecticut.
Claire Kisco, first up for the Wave in the bottom of the 6th. Stamford rallies out the circle. Darien would like some insurance for their pitcher, Medeiros. Middle of the 6th inning. Only a one-run game in which Darien scored on a sac fly to center. And Kisco will look to get aboard. 1 for 1 on the day, walked back in the first, got a single in the third, now coming up in the 5th to reach base once again, or at least that's what she looks to do, the sophomore first baseman. First pitch, Kisco over to third, Orguera on the first, takes the first baseman off the bag, but the tag is applied by Tabrillo for the first downs. And when you have a first baseman like Victoria Tabrillo who can come off the base, catch that ball, apply the tag on Kisco, you still get an out out of it, which is best case scenario, as there's one out off one pitch, and Caitlin Donahue stepping back in, 0 for 2 in the contest. Donahue has just been unlucky with her 2 at-bats, 2 great pieces of contact to the third baseman, Orguera. Foul ball off the end of the bat. Although, when Donahue's come up both times, there's been a runner on second base with a force on third, so that ground ball over to Orguera just knocks it down, steps on third for the force out her last 2 at-bats. But now, bases are empty. Brand new field for Caitlin Donahue to bat. And that one's going to hit Donahue. The hit by pitch puts the junior aboard. Ava Fogno will be the new batter for the Wave. Fogno looking to continue this momentum for the Wave. Fogno, ground ball over to the shortstop. Zinicola over to Robati, throw to first. They get her. Tabrillo with the lunge for it, and the 6-4-3 double play ends the inning. Although Darien has some work to do. Top of the 7th, Medeiros with a no-hitter. Can she close it out? We'll just have to wait and see on the DAF Media Network. Malin Medeiros looking to do something that has not been done by Darien in this calendar year. She needs 3 outs to complete a no-hitter for Darien. Has sat down the last 13 Stamford Black Knight hitters. The only Black Knight hitter to reach base was Zinicola in the 2nd on a hit by pitch that just skimmed her helmet. And now Medeiros will focus on Fox, Albert, and Tabrillo as she stands just 3 outs away from a no-hitter. First pitch from Medeiros. Ball in the dirt. 9 strikeouts for Medeiros thus far. In a day to remember for the Darien Junior. Showing bunt. Laying this one down. A beautiful bunt. Medeiros comes in for it. The throw. Not in time. Stamford breaks up the no-hitter in the 7th as Fox picks up the bunt. A big hit for Caitlin Fox as Medeiros goes 6 innings of hitless softball just to see the no-hitter snapped in the 7th. And off a bunt from the speedy Caitlin Fox. Foul ball. And now this is what I was saying in the top of the 6th. Now you need to focus your attention back on this game at hand. 1-0 Darien leads, so a small mishap, pitch left over the plate. If Albert drives one potentially over the plate and out of play for a home run, Stamford all of a sudden has a 2-1 lead. Although the Knights have not been able to hit Medeiros yet today. Called strike. And one hit from Fox came on that bunt. And you know when you have a speedy runner like Fox, it's going to be a tough play for any third baseman to try to come in on it. 0-2, Medeiros, can she get her 10th K? Curveball left high. Stamford came to Darien today. 6 innings they were kept off the hit column by Malin Medeiros. Although finally in the 7th, Fox breaks through with a hit. Strike 3! Make it an even 10 for Malin Medeiros on the mound. And there's one gone on the top of the 7th. Victoria Tabrio, the first baseman to bat. Tying run stands on first base in the likes of Caitlin Fox. The 4-hole hitter looking to drive one into the outfield. Advance Fox. Ball. Fogno with the pump fake down to first. Ball 2 on it. Two balls, no strikes. Medeiros has pitched perfectly so far in this ball game. Ground ball over to Lindell. The flip, Volgi to first. Safe is the runner, so Darien gets one out of it on the fielder's choice. And now Julia Ifino will see an at-bat in the 7th. A great flip from Lindell over to Volgi at short, not in time to get the runner to Tibrio. As now the game sits in the hands of Julia Iafino, the catcher. The last hope for the Black Knights. 1-0 our score. Thought about it, pulls back 1-0. And this is a game that Darien will look to build on for the rest of their season. They host Wilton on Monday, go to Fairfield Ward on Wednesday, and then host Sacred Heart Academy in a reschedule next weekend. Those are the remaining games for Darien. Assuming they can win out in that conference slate, they would potentially make the FCAC tournament as a 7 or 8 spot. And that's what head coach Nick DeMayo's squad is looking to do, sitting at 5-7 in conference play. Ball in the dirt, the skipper blocked by Fogno. So a win today, if they hold on to win, would put it to 6-7. And New Canaan holds the last spot in the FCAC at 6-6. So if the Rams lose today, then the Wave have a chance to potentially put some pressure on the Rams for that 8th and final FCAC spot. 2-1. Fly ball, into right. That one's going to drop off the wall. Getting around, Tibero. The relay. Not in time. Stamford ties us up. Julia Iafino, the double. And the Black Knights get the equalizer in the 7th. Heartbreaking fashion for Blue Wave faithful. Scoring all the way from first was Victoria Tabrio. And the RBI double from the bat of Julia Iafino. Ball inside. Only the 2nd hit for the Black Knights, but they come up clutch in the 7th. Foul ball, good piece of contact from Zinicola. And now Darien will need to come back to bat in the top of the 7th. 1-1. Ball in the dirt, blocked by Fogno. Again, a game that had Darien written all over it. 6 innings of no-hit pitching from Malin Medeiros was met by a bunt from Caitlin Fox to start off the 7th. A beautifully placed bunt down the third baseline. Foul ball. Ooh. Look at that, just got a souvenir. Although I can't keep it, though, I don't think. Had to give it back to head coach Nick DeMeo. 2 balls, 2 strikes, Medeiros. Fly ball, this one's high. Settling under it is Allie Myers. Instead, it's the center fielder, McCloskey, coming out of nowhere, making the 3rd out. But not before the Stamford Black Knights put 1 run on the board off of 2 hits. We're tied at 1 apiece in the bottom of the 7th on the DAF Media Network. Grab your popcorn, folks. It's going to be interesting.
I think the Darien Foundation is a central organization in town, showing that the community cares and the community is willing to give and the community is willing to support the kind of work that we're doing here and in other organizations in town.
I'd like to thank the Darien Foundation for their continued support. They've been a wonderful partner, and they've taken this vision that we've had for this property and make it a reality.
The Darien Foundation was critical to the success of the Elizabeth W. Tilton Education Center. The new barn will allow us to have bigger groups and educate more school children about the legacy of the Mather homestead.
It's important for people to be proud of where they live and to understand that if they want a better society, that they need to fund places like the Darien Foundation and the places like the Mather Homestead, because they're so rich in cultural achievements that it makes it a better place to live.
Stamford wins 6 innings without a hit. The 7th inning, the Black Knights offense comes to play. Rallies behind 2 hits, a double from Iafino, and they tie this game up at 1 apiece. The Wave have not scored since the 3rd, have not gotten a hit since the 4th. The last 6 batters for the Wave have all been retired, actually with the exception of Donahue, but then she was out the next play on the double play. So Darien's offense will need to come out of a slump, and Catherine Lindell will be tasked with that job in the 8th spot, the second baseman. If only the game was that easy. 6 innings, a no-hitter from Medeiros. Although nothing's easy. First pitch is a ball for Lindell. And you look at Darien's 1 run they scored. I don't want to say it's a cheap run, but it wasn't officially a hit that brought it in. It was a sac fly from Medeiros, then an error on the center fielder, Sam Albert, was how they brought it in. Lindell in the rights. That one is caught. 1 out in the inning. And the right fielder for Stamford comes over, makes the grab on the line drive, and there's 1 away for the 9-hole hitter, Mia Michelson, the designated player. Michelson will step into the box, the freshman. Michelson grounder over to first, knocked down by the first baseman, Tabrero. She fumbles on it, falls to the ground, and Michelson is safe. Beating out the throw is the freshman, Mia Michelson. And a single is how Michelson reaches first. Now the winning run stands on first base. Izzy Ofinger to bat. Led off the game with a double for the Wave. Had a 3-run homer against Danbury, a 2 RBI double against the New Canaan Rams. She has the heroics on the DAF Media Network. Takes called strike 1, and if you're Izzy, that's exactly what you're looking to do. See the pitch from Fox, get down, get the timing down, see what she's going to throw you. Your 4th at bat against Fox, 1 for 2 or 1 for 3 in the ball game. The pitch. Ofinger takes it high. Michelson's got some speed on first base, so a potential ball in the gap. You'll be looking for head coach Nick DeMeo to potentially send Mia Michelson, though it depends on the relay in that nature. Claire Callie McCloskey sits on deck. Ofinger, that one just popped foul. A little in front of Fox's pitch. Moves it to 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes. Caitlin Fox regroups behind the mound. The pitch. Ball just outside. The throwaway pitch from Fox. Two balls, 2 strikes. In front of it, foul back. Two and two. Ofinger now regrouping. Two balls, 2 strikes. Fox with the delivery. Ofinger in front of it, fouling it back. It is the Ofinger, a good problem to have. She's in front of the ball now, needs to just wait back a bit, get the hands to the ball. Two. In a brand new game, 1-1. Ofinger. Fly ball. And that one just foul. Getcher Iofino traced it all the way back to the fence, although it just barely went out of play, so Ofinger stays alive in the at-bat. Two balls, 2 strikes. Izzy gets set in the right-handed batter's box. Fouled it back. Just gets a piece of it. And Izzy Ofinger doing her job at the plate. Two and two. Kaylin Fox has pitched well as of the recent innings. Ofinger takes the ball 3 inside. Was taking a risk that that ball would be low. The home plate umpire says it is low. And now the count is full. And you can see head coach Nick DeMeo very conservative with that runner on first base. The full count pitch from Fox. Ofinger fouls it back. And that one's out of play. And I'm mentioning that point that head coach Nick DeMeo was conservative with the runner because in that game against New Canaan in the 7th inning, he had Nicole Yarish on first base. Gave the steal sign to Yarish. She was thrown out at second base for the second out, followed then by a single that would have scored Yarish. So if you're Nick DeMeo, you're going to just let the runner be and let your big hitter Izzy Ofinger drive her in. 3-2, 1 out. Fox with the deal. Ofinger off her right foot. Dead ball. And now the winning runner moves up in the scoring position off the hit by pitch of Ofinger. And Darien now. Callie McCloskey had a single in the second, came around to score, strikeouts in the other 2 at-bats, 1 for 3 in the ball game, the 2-hole hitter. Nick DeMeo giving the rundown to his runner on second, Mia Michelson. On deck stands the big bat of Malin Medeiros. Although Darien will look to avoid a double play. That would be worst case scenario. McCloskey lays down the bunt. The throw over to third in time. The Knights get the force on it. A great play by Aubrey Orguera to throw it over to Zinicola, who was covering short. And the Black Knights, you can't draw it up any better than that right there. The bunt attempt was to no avail, essentially. Now Medeiros will need to drive the runner in from second base. Two outs. Malin Medeiros, the pitcher, looking to win this game for herself. Pitched 6 innings of no-hit softball for the Wave. Faced some adversity in the top of the 7th. And now has a chance to be the hero on the batting side of things. But needs to drive a runner in Mia Michelson on second base. Medeiros batted .666 a couple weeks ago, was nominated for Player of the Week. Medeiros, fly ball on the right. That one is back. Right fielder makes the grab. Shiano with the grab, and we are going to extra innings. Medeiros gave it a ride, but the Knights prevail. We're heading to extras, folks, on the DAF Media Network.
The technology upgrades provided by the Darien Foundation has been a game changer for us. It's allowed us to improve our training. It has helped us hone our skills. Thanks to our partnership with the Darien Foundation, who's provided all of this technology and several grants throughout the years, we're able to continue to be prepared to respond whenever you need it.
I'd like to thank the Darien Foundation for their continued support. They've been a wonderful partner, and they've taken this vision that we've had for this property and make it a reality.
Thanks to the Darien Foundation, we have this amazing new van, and we are so excited about it and what it'll do for the community.
This is going to be a real improvement in the services we provide. The Darien Foundation is important to the community in the scope that they reach out to answer needs.
It's important for people to be proud of where they live and to understand that if they want a better society, that they need to fund places like the Darien Foundation and the places like the Mather Homestead, because they're so rich in cultural achievements that it makes it a better place to live.
Top of the 8th, free extra innings for you on the DAF Media Network. Sun finally has been hidden behind the clouds. Medeiros in the dirt, showing bump but retreating was Aubrey Orguera. Braden Shank with you. So glad you can be with us on the DAF Media Network. Again, a game that was all Darien for the first 6 innings. Medeiros, not a single hit given up, just a 1 hit by pitch in the first 6 innings. Then Caitlin Fox led off with the single, was driven in by a double by Julia Iafino. Foul ball off the left side. So this Knights offense saw a stretch of 2 or 3 batters where the offense came to play, but other than that, the Knights have been quiet on the offensive fronts. But that's the beauty of a 1-run game. It only takes a bloop and a blast, and you're right back in the game. And now first-year head coach Tori Kuskuna will rally with her batter, Orguera. First time, at least in the last 10 years, these teams are going extra innings. Last year was a 5-4 Stamford win. That game was played over at Stamford High School, however. We've won it. Also last year in the second meeting, they played the slap bunt down the first base line. Medeiros fields at the second baseman. Lindell's covering. And they get the throw on a great defensive movement from the Wave. And now there's 1 out for the 8-hole hitter, Chiaro. Is he 0 for 2 in the game? A line out in the 3rd and a strikeout in the 6th. One of the 10 victims that Mullen Medeiros has claimed out in the circle. First pitch. Liner. That one gets through the right side. Chiaro will round and be safe at first with a single. And a big job by the 8-hole hitter for the Knights to pick up the 3rd hit for Stamford. And now there's a runner on first in the 8th inning. Rachel Stokes will be the batter. The left fielder 0 for 2 in the contest, a ground out and a strikeout. But again, this was the same situation we saw against New Canaan. A single, then a home run from Callie Patterson of the Rams. That one was crushed all the way out in left field. That's how the game ended. But again, the teams love these extra inning competition. 1-1 the score. Ball in the dirt, knocked down by Fogno. And you knew Darien's offense had to come to play. They have not had a hit, or at least they had the hit from Michelson, but besides that, they went 3 innings without a hit. 1-1 the count. Stokes gets ready in the right-handed batter's box. Liner in the center. That one is going to drop in the gap. Chiaro's held at second, but a single from Rachel Stokes. And the Black Knights have the last 2 hits as the lineup flips over to Robati. Cassie Robati, 0 for 3 in the game, looking to change course. Grounder, knocked down by the first baseman, Kisko. Over to third, it is the high of Ofinger. Shiara rounding third, she's heading for home and will score. And the error against Kisko gives the Knights the lead. Kisko thought about going to third. The sailing throw on it brings Shiara home from second. And the Knights have their first lead of the ball game. Heartbreaking fashion for the Wave. Called strike on Fox. Caitlin Fox got the rally started in the 7th. The bunt down the line, a beautifully placed bunt. Ball upstairs. Stokes moved up to second as well on that attempt. And it's a heads-up play by Kisko to try to go to third on her, although the throw just sailed high, especially with the likes of Caitlin Fox coming up, who had a single in her last at-bat. You know that if there's runners on second and third, a hit potentially would score 2, rather than if you just go and get the force down at first. Or the question would have been, why don't you throw to second on it, try to get the runner and Stokes, the 9-hole batter out, and then try to come back to you for the double play, the 1-6-1 double play. Or the 3-6-3 double play. Fox shows bunt, pulls back. And the shortstop Balji covers third, although it's 3-1 on the counts. And the Wave looking to avoid another extra inning heartbreaker, especially in a game that they have led most of the way. 3-1. Foul tip, dropped by Fogner, although it wouldn't matter. It would have been strike 2 anyways. Sam Albert stands on deck. But Medeiros is focusing on Caitlin Fox right now. First and second, 1 away in the 8th inning. The 3-2 deal. Grounder over to Ofinger. Over to third, the tag. She got her. Ofinger applies the tag on Stokes, and there's 2 gone. And that's what Kisko was looking to do, get the lead runner out, keep the game tied, as now Sam Albert steps in. Albert 0 for 3 in the ballgame, 3 strikeouts to her name. Looking to avoid the dreaded 4th K. Ball upstairs. I know it's a rough day when you have the Triple Crown in your name on strikeouts, and you don't want to avoid the 4th, or you want to avoid the 4th. Especially when someone like Medeiros has pitched so effectively out there. 1-0. Called strike on Albert. Albert in the dirt gets past Fogno. Both runners will advance. Rabati to third, Fox to second. And if Darien were to lose this game, their FCAC hopes would be dwindling away. 2 conference games to play. And they would be 2 games out. They would need wins against Fairfield Ward and Wilton. 3-1. And that's exactly what Darien is looking to avoid. You don't want to go on a 4-game losing streak, especially to end out the season. Darien would need to win their last 3 games if they would want to qualify for the state tournament. 8-12 is the record you need, and the Wave are at 5-11 right now. Ball 4 as Albert is lost to the walk. And Nick DeMeo will leave his pitcher out there. Went out and talked to Medeiros. Nonetheless, the walk of Albert will bring Tabrio in. Bases are loaded in the 8th. Tabrio 0 for 3 in the ballgame. A ground out in the 2nd, a ground out in the 4th, and a fielder's choice in the 7th, but came around to score in the 7th. A tying run that was on the double. Tabrero. Tabrio takes ball 1. 1-0. And Medeiros is not necessarily fallen apart in these last 2 innings, but the offense is starting to catch up to Medeiros. 1-0. Ball just high. And this is best case scenario for the Knights. They grab a 2-1 lead in the 8th, have the bases loaded, looking for more, looking for some insurance at this point, especially a Knights team that has struggled in recent games. 2-0. Liner. Medeiros lets it drop, fields it. She can't get anything with it. That's a single. The error against Medeiros, and Tabrio with another RBI. The Knights go up 3-1. Victoria Tabrio beats out the attempt on, and a great job by all the runners from Stamford to move up a base. The error against Medeiros moves it to 3-1 Stamford as Julia Iafino comes in. Had the RBI double in the 7th. And this is not the time the Wave wants to fall apart. Ball in the dirt. Medeiros, second pitch of the at-bat. Ball in the dirt, 2-0. Two balls, no strikes. Liner, foul. Against Stamford, they have not won a game since April 21st, when they took down the Fairfield Ward Mustangs 9-8. They have lost their last 8 contests. Lost to Wilton, lost to New Canaan, lost to Richfield, lost to Trumbull, lost to Ludlow, lost to Staples, lost to West Hill, and a loss to Norwalk, all in their last 8 games. Although a lot of close ones, a lot of 1-2 run ball games. And the Black Knights might finally have their day that they overcome the hump. 3-1, the count on Iafino. Fly ball, little blooper. Caught by the center fielder McCloskey with some speed, but not before the Vikings, or the Black Knights rather, score 2 runs off 2 hits and 2 errors against the Wave. It's 3-1 Stamford as they look to close it out in the bottom of the 8th.
The technology upgrades provided by the Darien Foundation has been a game changer for us. It's allowed us to improve our training. It has helped us hone our skills. Thanks to our partnership with the Darien Foundation, who's provided all of this technology and several grants throughout the years, we're able to continue to be prepared to respond whenever you need it.
I'd like to thank the Darien Foundation for their continued support. They've been a wonderful partner, and they've taken this vision that we've had for this property and make it a reality.
Thanks to the Darien Foundation, we have this amazing new van, and we are so excited about it and what it'll do for the community.
This is going to be a real improvement in the services we provide. The Darien Foundation is important to the community in the scope that they reach out to answer needs.
It's important for people to be proud of where they live and to understand that if they want a better society, that they need to fund places like the Darien Foundation and the places like the Mather Homestead, because they're so rich in cultural achievements that it makes it a better place to live.
Lauren Valji, Claire Kisco, Caitlin Donahue, the due-up for Darien, as the Wave will look to swing their way back into this ball game. They lost the 1-0 lead, now trailing 3-1 as they head into the bottom of the 8th, desperately needing some hits and runs. Wave left 2 runners aboard last inning. They've left 7 throughout the contest, actually 8 throughout the contest. Darien scored their 1 run back in the 3rd inning. Fly ball on the first pitch. On the right side. That one's caught by the first baseman, Tabrio. And Victoria Tabrio makes the first catch on the pop out, as now Claire Kisco will look to continue her day. 1 for 2 on the afternoon. Walked in the first, single in the third, and a ground out in the sixth. Darien looking to keep the spirits high in a game that the Knights have come all the way back in. Grounder. Orguera knocks it down, throw on at first, in time. 2 pitches, 2 outs for the Knights. And now Caitlin Donahue is the last hope for the Darien Blue Wave. Donahue was hit by a pitch in her last at-bat. And now 2 outs, back up against the wall. Caitlin Fox has settled down and pitched a masterpiece out in the circle. Called strike, you knew that the take sign was on for Donahue, especially after Valji and Kisko went down on just 1 pitch. Oh, 1. Strike 2, Donahue behind it. Caitlin Fox just 1 pitch away for closing this game out for the Stamford Black Knights. It would be a win to remember if Stamford can close it out. Donahue takes her time, adjusts the gloves. 0-2. Fox gets the sign, comes set, and delivers. Strike 3, looking! And Stamford completes the comeback. The Black Knights stun the Wave en route to a 3-1 victory. What a fight by this Black Knights squad. No hit through the first 6 innings. Score a run to keep the game going in the 7th. And then the Knights rally to score 2 in the 8th to take down Darien 3-1. Heartbreaking loss for the Darien Blue Wave. This Stamford team had a mission. They knew the mission. And in the 7th inning, they put that mission to work. A big win for the Black Knights as they advance to 7-11 on the season, 4-9 in conference play. Your final line numbers: Stamford, your victors, 3 runs off 4 hits, 2 errors. Darien, 1 run off of 5 hits. They also made 2 errors in the fields. But a game that Darien is going to want to have to forget. As I'm calculating these final numbers here, good time to tell you DAF Media is a joint venture between the Darien Athletic Foundation and the Darien Foundation, bringing you live coverage of this varsity softball contest between the Darien Blue Wave and the Stamford Black Knights. It was a game that Darien had the first 6 innings under control. They had a lead 1-0, although the 7th and 8th is when the Black Knights turned the game on and really made this game theirs. Stamford, your victors this afternoon. Caitlin Fox, the winning pitcher. 7 innings pitched, 4 hits, 1 run. Not earned, however. 1 walk and 6 Ks. She is your winning pitcher. Settled down, pitched magnificently from the 3rd inning on. And for Darien, Malin Medeiros, a good start, wasted with the lack of offense, able to help her. 8 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs, only 1 of which earned, 1 walk, and 10 strikeouts for the Darien junior pitcher. Medeiros had a no-hitter through the first 6 innings. Stamford was not able to hit Medeiros. It was all Malin Medeiros before the 7th inning. Caitlin Fox led off with a bunch single down the left field line. The fielder's choice by Tabrero switched the runner up on second base, and then Julia Iafino, the catcher, came up clutch with the double scoring Tabrero for the 1 run for Stamford. That tied us up at 1 apiece. Going into the 8th inning, this Black Knights team started off hot. A single from Chiaro, and then a single from Stokes to put it on 1st and 2nd, was then drilled in by an error against the third baseman, Claire Kisko, tried to fire over to 3rd to get the force out, just sailed high on Ofinger. That's how Chiaro came home to score. And then the error against Medeiros, a little weak grounder, and Medeiros not able to field it, was how the Knights got their 3rd and final run. But that's where this game stands. Stamford 3, Darien 1. The Knights advance to 7-11 on the season, 3-10 in conference play. Darien drops to 5-12, 5-8 in conference play. The Wave will now watch as their FCAC playoff hopes are slowly dwindling away. They still have 2 conference games left. Fairfield Ward next Wednesday, Wilton next Monday, and the Wave need to win out if they want to qualify for the 2023 CIAC state playoffs. That's going to do it from us here at DAF Media. For our entire production crew, Adam Nelson, Henry Imbrogno, Dalton Moss, our DAF Media advisor, Damian Andrew, saying so long from the Darien High School softball field. I've been Braden Shank. This has been a production of the DAF Media Network. Against Stamford, your victors, 3-1 over the Darien Blue Wave. Have a great night and have a great weekend, everybody.